Hey everyone, hey, it's me, Peyton. I'm coming at you from the North Georgia, Tennessee line. And, sorry, I will admit this morning when I first drew my network marketing paper, I read it and I was like, this is not going to work at all. Because it was basically it's basically a list of instructions for how to build a core for beauty demo. All right. So that's why I was like, this just isn't going to work. Okay. And I read the whole paper and I was like, it's really good information. And it was literally instructions of building the core for beauty demo. Then I open up the chapter of this book. Hey, y'all. And the very first sentence in here, y'all, it says, instructions for building a church. And I was like, okay, this is probably going to work right here. It's like, all the doubt I had, I was like, okay, like, for the last few weeks, I've been like, okay, I know this is going to work now because it's worked every single week. But then after reading this paper today, I was like, yeah, not today. Well, not today, Satan. This is what God had to say. So we have the instructions about building a beauty demo. And in here, we have instructions about building a church. And that made my brain think, okay, if she's talking about instructions of building something and so is God, why are we not building ourselves? Have you ever wondered about the who, what, why, when, where of any situation about what you don't know, what you're about to embark on, an adventure, but you don't know the who, what, when, where. Let me tell y'all a small side story. My dad, God rest his soul, but my dad would, like, vacations weren't vacations. It wasn't like you would go and, like, no. There was no relaxation. It was literally like a vacation was a chance to be immersed into culture. And that is exactly what my dad did. He would build itineraries for us from like every waking second from 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. Every waking second was spoken for and planned out. There was no relaxation on these vacations. It was just basically like a giant culture immersion. So anytime I embarked on an adventure with my dad, he knew the who, what, when, where, why, because he already had investigated it and planned it out. But for the rest of us, we embark on adventures and sometimes we don't know about the how, what, when, why, and where, you know? And a lot of us try to control the who, what, when, why, where. And sometimes we need to be reminded that we are not the ones in control. It's actually God. He's the one that's in control. He's calling all of us to do what he asks when he asks with a good attitude. And I think it's hard for a lot of us that are like control freaks, and I can speak to this because I was one, that sometimes it's really hard to surrender to a situation when you don't know, like, okay, I have always been a big planner. Like, I always planned every single thing. And then my mom, a couple of years ago, was like, well, what's your plan for XYZ? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what God's plan is. He hasn't told me what it is yet, but I'm sure it's good. So, I completely surrendered. I could have tried to fight it with my own plan, but instead I'm just like going with the flow over here to see where it gets to go next over here. So, when you're feeling lost or confused and you don't know what to do, remember, God is going to direct our motion. He's going to give us all the light inside that we need and the intuition. And if you are afraid that you are not hearing that correctly, ask Him to prepare your heart to cooperate with His instruction, because He will. He will. And so my challenge this week to y'all is to, one, identify a place in your own life where you have not given up any control. You're still trying so hard. And then just give it up and give it to God. Say, you know what, bro? Like, where's one? You know what? I've been really like trying to do this one thing this way, but you know what? Obviously, my way isn't the best way. Let's try it your way. I'm willing and open to see what you got. And the kicker is you have to actually be willing and open to see what He's got, because you can say that, but then if you are not willing to see, then it's probably going to be just wasted words out into the universe. So our challenge is to identify one thing we've not given up control over yet, and then to give it to God. I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all next week.